Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video by yours truly. We are back at it with the fire, most based Honkai Star Rail content known to mankind. I still got this extra deep ass Barry White voice because I'm still getting rid of the last remnants of COVID. I'd say I'm about 90% recovered, but we're doing better. I feel fantastic. Yeah, we're ready to get back in it and get the ball rolling. Thank you for being patient, by the way, all my viewers. Thank you guys for being patient. It's been a hell of a time. I checked my channel. It's been what, like damn near 2 weeks, and I've only uploaded 2 videos. So it's time to get back to it. We got some good content, some good insightful content for you guys prepared today for Ruan Mei, whatever the hell you want to call her. She has met my expectations. She's met everything that I said she was going to do prior to her release. I feel like she is not only the most universal support in the game, she's universally the best support in game across all categories, including hyper buff DPS compositions. But out of respect for my peers who think that Branya's still better than her in certain areas, we can say that she's competing for the best in hyper buff DPSing as well. I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. I don't really care to argue about it anymore. But we've prepared 3 showcases for you because I wanted to symbolize just how universally good she is. One of the showcases, we have a 0 cycle with Jing, Yuan, and Topaz on floor 10 first half. The second showcase is going to be Kafka and Luka as the break effect, symbolizing for her synergy. We got a 1 cycle clear, cutting it close to a 2 cycle clear if we include the buff for floor 11 first half. And then finally, we got a floor 12 second half hyper buff composition showcase with Ruan Mei, Jingliu, Scooby-Doo, and Yuan. And I wanted to show, again, 3 completely different avenues of compositions as you could run with Ruan Mei, just so you guys could see that potential and how good I said she was going to be universally. So we'll go over the intricate mechanical details of each one of those showcase runs. I think there's a lot to learn from this because there's a bunch of build diversity with Ruan Mei depending on the case-by-case basis, which we'll go over those because I show the builds in every single run as well. And it's important to know because people always try to put characters in a box with how to build them. No, you only run ER rope and then you only run this. And depending on the scenario, you might want to run a break effect rope. Depending on the scenario, you might want to run Sprightly Von Whack over the break effect set. It does change on a case-by-case basis depending on what you're trying to do in terms of cycle clearance, efficiency, yada yada yada. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into it on the first showcase. Ruan Mei is gonna Ruan Mei. Okay, this is the first showcase. This is the 0 cycle run with Jing, Yuan, and Topaz. Remember, I told y'all that Jing, Yuan, and Topaz was gonna start competing strong. Hey, I told you. Now, yes, this is floor 10, but floor 10 is the only upper floor where you have lightning and fire weakness on the same scenario. So this was the perfect floor to test out how strong Jing, Yuan, and Topaz with. I don't have either one of their signature light cones. My Ruan Mei is E1, and I told y'all that I was going to put all my investment into her when I could. So we did get her to E1. We don't have signature light cone. That's too much money. and then we have our Yuan, who's actually rocking Planetary Rendezvous with the crit damage increase to whole party set. She was able to get away with Planetary Rendezvous on this team thanks to Ruan Mei giving that extra speed boost, enabling us to go first, coupled with Yuan's speed set. Okay, so this set, this run is important to understand build diversity with Ruan Mei. The reason I say that is because I'm running a Sprightly Von Whack set on her. But you're not supposed to run a speed boot because you only want her to hit the 120 speed threshold. We're not gonna pause as much as I want to because I don't want to just keep pausing and turn this into a long video, but there's a lot to communicate and convey to you guys so that you understand how to build her. Sprite Von Whack is what we're running in this scenario with a non-speed boot because we just want her to go first so that she could pop her ult, and then we never want to use her ult again. We want full uptime on the first ult, and that's it because it's a 0 cycle. So if you do everything correctly, she's going to pop her ult, give the whole party the damage bonus, the multi-res penetration, the defensive shred, and then that's it. She's off. She's gone. No, never worry about Ruan Mei again. But in order to do that, you got to run Sprightly Von Whack and have her speed low enough, which is 120, 122, 123, somewhere around there. Low enough to go first and then never go again, because if she goes twice, then you have to re-up the buff, and that messes up the whole scuffed run. So in a 0 cycle format, Sprite Von Whack with no speed boot, given you can 0 cycle, it's actually going to be a very viable option for our Ruan Mei. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is, watch this right here. Remember, she activates her skill going into battle, right? Yet I still activated it again. Why? Because I'm not rocking an ER rope, so I have to activate her skill again just to get her ult up and have everyone receive that ultimate buff. So this is another thing that's important to understand, because this is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Unorthodox, right? You don't want to pop her skill 2 times, right? On paper, that's a terrible idea. Well, depending on the team's skill point funneling and positivity, you can pop that shit 2 times. As long as you don't run out of skill points, you're good to go. So I popped it twice just to get her ult up, and then boom, now we're good to go. So again, that won't work depending on other teams that use up more skill points. But for this team, it works just fine because Topaz is skill point positive, or can be. So Yuan, we try to get rid of these guys so that we can do maximum stand damage. Remember, his stand does the most damage to isolated targets. Broke his shield off rip. I told y'all it was going to become apparent of how strong weakness break efficiency is. And now you can see already, look at where his health is. In fact, if we come back here, oh hell, here we go with this again. I need to figure out how to go back. That's okay. 61,000, a big chunk of that comes from Ruan Mei's break. We do not use Jingliu's skill because we need to regenerate a skill point, plus 9 stacks of his stand is actually strong enough to send this motherfucker straight to the Shadow Realm. Furthermore, Ruan Mei delaying him, sending him to the back, enabled this to happen. There's so much value already showing from Ruan Mei in this sequence. It's huge. That delay enabled him to send him to the Shadow Realm and go on to the next fight. All right, so we open up with her ult. Now, I want to tell you guys, I'm actually rocking a speed boot on my Ruan Mei. But I got lucky and she got CC'd. I wasn't supposed to be rocking a speed boot in the showcase. I messed up, forgot to change it out. Remember, she's not supposed to rock a speed boot, but thankfully she got CC'd and got put to the back anyway. That was huge for the uptime on her ult. Okay, so from here, again, that extra weakness break is doing wonders for us right now. And look, now we get to break her shield. Look at that 20k break from Ruan Mei. So now see, she's only going for the first time, which means her buffs are all still activated. That's thanks to getting CC'd. Or if you don't have a speed boot, she would have also only gone once this whole sequence as well. So all her buffs have still been activated. Also, keep in mind that delay that Ruan Mei did to her was huge, massive, no damage. We didn't take any damage thanks to that delay and that break. This is what I was telling y'all, where her sustain comes into play. Again, now we could break the left person's shield, right? Boom, another 21,000 to the left from Ruan Mei. And Yuan finished off, send them both to the Shadow Realm 0 cycle. That was literally possible, obviously, through a combined effort of the whole party, but mainly because of our girl Ruan Mei giving the maximum damage bonus, all type penetration, defense ignore, delaying the hell out of their turns, not letting them go. It's just so much value coming from one single person on this team, and this is how we could prove to you guys that dual DPS compositions are extremely competitive right now, given that they're going up against the corresponding elements that they're weak against. Remember what I told y'all? And this is, I'm not even fully invested in her right here, but you could see she's rocking Sprightly Von Whack with 2-piece break effect, 2-piece speed. Now you can run full-blown break effect given that you meet the appropriate speed values. You can't do that. This is what I had to run to meet what I was trying to run. But remember, I was running a speed boot on complete accident with her. We're running break effect right here. and we're running defense HP for the sphere or defense or HP for the body. That's the gold standard for her, because break effect is not influenced by ice damage bonus. Break effect is not influenced by crit. So why would you build crit or ice damage on the character that just doesn't have any influence from those things? It's a waste, right? So what would we do? We make her tankier, make her survive more. If you're wondering why break effect over ER, again, for this particular scenario, I only need her ult one time, so I don't need ER rope. I need more break effect to have a more potent action value delay and a bigger break damage. Memory of Past S2 is what we're running on her. And then I'm just showing off my builds that I have for my DPSs. She's E0. He's rocking the Battle Pass Light Cone. Notice he's missing 48% attack boost. And then my Ting Yuan is rocking Planetary Rendezvous. Again, thanks to Ruan Mei giving us additional speed boost. And because she can sustain for our team, my Ting Yuan can actually rock a Planetary Rendezvous, making Jingliu even a little bit more stronger. So that's like, what is it? Indirect value from Ruan Mei. All right, now we can move on to the next run. This is Kafka Luka with Welt Ruan Mei duo sustaining for this composition. This is one of my favorite compositions to run too. And Kafka can do this with what's his name too. Sorry, I can't multitask. She can do this with Sampo, given they're weak against wind. But what's cool about this is that I'm running ER rope on my Ruan Mei in this particular scenario with the break effect 2-piece set. So like I said, see, it changes. I am running a speed boot on her in this one for sure, because we're gonna use her ult 2 times throughout the duration of this run. So it's important to have that ER rope in this scenario. So ER rope in this scenario, 100%. Right now we're dwindling down shields so that we can break both of their shields. Now Welt's gonna play a pivotal role in sustaining with Ruan Mei on this composition. Remember what I told y'all about Welt. His value is always gonna become very prevalent in scenarios where the elites are going 2 times in a row. You let them go once, but before they go twice, you ult with Welt and send their ass to the back with Ember. We didn't need to do it on this first one though. All right, so now we are going to uppercut her to Kingdom Come, 127,000. Kafka reprocs the break effect dot for another 109,000. Well, I don't know what I do with Welt. Do I skill here? I probably do. Okay, I auto build more skill points. Now Welt's ult's up, Luka's ult's up, but we hoshes them both because we don't need them. We let the buff do our work for us. He gets sent to the back with Amber, and she dies to the bleed dot. That is such a beautiful composition rod right there. Oh my goodness. And now we have a good scenario set up for Welt and Luka to utilize their ults. Also see Welt's ult coming in handy going into the second round. Really nice. So we reactivate Ruan Mei. Working on getting shields down. Yep, getting those shields down. Okay, so we're gonna wait. It's important that y'all learn this. We let him get away with 2 attacks because they're just 2 attacks. They're not really devastating. But this next girl, we do not want her attacking twice because she stuns you, or she puts that little thing on you, and the next time you get attacked, you get stunned. So we couldn't allow that. So we let her attack once with a bit of RNG. We was hoping she didn't hit my Welt. Okay, and then before she gets to attack, full counter. That boy Welt. Sent straight to the back with Amber. And now they have low enough toughness to where Luka can break both of their shields for the bleed dot. That's the most potent dot in the game for breaks. It's insane. And now Ruan Mei gets her second ult up. Everybody has full-blown buff advantage. 98k right there. Into an uppercut on him. 148k right there. Luka putting in that work. Kafka re-trigger Luka dot. 77k, re-trigger it one more time on both of their heads. 180k. Now what y'all notice is I could have one cycle right here 100% without the use of the buff. I just need a little bit more investment in my team, but with the help of the buff, we did not do a single move into that next cycle. So that's why I said it was a 1 cycle or 2 cycle, debatably, if you include the buff. But the buff helped me 1 cycle. But yeah, we pretty much, you can, if you're one of those people who's a dick rider, you can say it's a 2 cycle, who cares? But let's go ahead and go over the builds for this team. Ruan Mei's rocking, again, Memory of the Past, 999. And as you can see, we're rocking the break effect set this time, instead of Sprightly Von Whack, with an energy recharge rope. So we have to meet that 180 break effect marker in order for Ruan Mei to give the full-blown damage bonus to the team, right? You need to hit that 180 break effect marker, which means you can hit 160 break effect, and then when she goes into battle, her passive will give you the extra 20 to hit the 180. So do what you need to do to hit that 180 marker, but you can always have more break effect for better, stronger breaks and more potent action value delay. And yeah, just showing off her build real quick. We got Luka sitting at 220 with Ruan Mei break effect. Beautiful. And again, we can get more investment on him. He's got a level 5 HP. So we don't care about Luka running physical damage because we're really only worried about his break damage. His break damage is so far beyond his regular dot damage that's not even worth. I'd rather just make him tankier. We did put a break effect rope on our Kafka because she does break the first and elite enemy's shield in the first half. So you don't have to, but I did it because I wanted to get a little more damage out of her on the break. And that's my team. No signature light cones. Only person on the team that's E1 is actually, I did just get my, I used my free wish to get welt, or my free 300 pull standard banner shit to get an E1 welt. But we have E1 Ruan Mei on the team, and that's it. All right, finally, the final showcase is Jingliu. This is the composition that I'm excited to show you about, because this composition is my new favorite Jingliu composition. It's such an amazing, fluid composition. And on this one, well, you know, we'll wait till we get to the builds at last. But notice I did the double scale proc with Ruan Mei to start off with. Oh wait, we haven't went yet. I do the double scale on this one, and I'm rocking a break effect rope. Might as well just tell you. So see, double skill proc. And then we get our ult up. Again, because the composition I'm running is so skill point friendly, I can get away with it. They're frozen, they can't do nothing, so I auto attack. No need to reactivate Scooby-Doo's passive. No need to reactivate it, not yet. And she has all buffs on her except 40% attack boost from Scooby-Doo. I'll be honest with you though, I think the play here, I think Jingliu is better with the ER rope. I'm go ahead and keep it a buck. There were some like instances in this run where she would have done so much better with an ER rope, probably would have saved me a cycle. I'm gonna play around with that next. I think she's actually better with the ER rope, I'll be honest. It just better uptime. 37k on his head right there. That break effect ain't nothing to scoff at, man. All right, so our Jingliu about to do some solid damage here. Keep in mind, she broke that shield over there too. I think that 28k might be the break effect. Yeah. Crit hit. Actually, that's 3 crits. I don't know. It's hard to tell. She definitely, maybe the break didn't even proc from Ruan Mei because we overkilled her. I don't know. We saved ourselves a cycle there going into the bug. But look, this is what I was telling you. Jingliu's ult would have been up if I had an ER rope. That's what I was trying to say. And this is a waste. That's a waste right there. So I can't even use my Ting Yuan ult right here because it's a waste. If I had an ER rope, that would have helped me tremendously. And she gets so much attack from Ting Yuan in her own ult that you don't really need the attack. I'm nitpicking though. It's fine. 2 cycles is all you need. This is only like sweaty try hard shit. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so the reason it was okay for me to run a break effect rope on this comp is because I have downtime on Jingliu. She actually goes out of her phase 1 time during this fight. And because she goes out of her phase, I can afford to not have to run an ER rope in a 2 cycle duration. But that's a case by case basis because Jingliu is one of the people that has terrible downtime if you go out of her ult. So it's okay, I can get away with this, right? We ended up getting Ruan Mei's ult up, honestly, and pretty much it felt like the same shit anyway, right? So not even a big deal. So now we're out of her ult, right? Downtime on her ult is GG's. So I actually used Jingliu's ult outside of her buff just because Ting Yun and Scooby-Doo were both about to like battery her right back up. So generally, again, another unorthodox play here, but it was worth it because I'm gonna get her ult right back up again. But we use her ult just so that we can then follow up with hers. Excuse me. And then we use Ting Yun to battery up even further. That's why I wasn't tripping on using her ult outside of it. And then look, we plenty of skill points. Oh, okay, sorry, I need to just adjust my camera just a little bit. All right, so we're in the final phase here. All right, we're about to get Ting Yun's ult up right here in a bit so that we can battery our Jingliu and prevent her from going out of her ult again. Re-up the benediction buff. Battery Jingliu up. And use her ult before Ruan Mei comes up because Ruan Mei's buff is about to run out. Her ult buff. That's 300k. Putting debuffs on his head with the bugs. So now Ruan Mei's buff ran out. That's why I wanted to ult before she popped up again so that she can get the uptime of her ult. But again, you could see instances throughout this fight where the ER rope on Jingliu would have helped tremendously. It is what it is, though. But yeah, we ended up finishing strong for a 2-cycle clear here, obviously. Re-up her ult. Pop it. And then, yeah, this guy's not going to live to see the light of day. Oh, yeah, look, this was a nice little combo. So she ults, Scooby-Doo ults to give Ting Yun enough battery so that Ting Yun then ults, brings Jingliu inside of the cycle as well as her ult coming up. Her Scooby-Doo and Ting Yun are such a crazy battery comp, man. Like their duo is just dirty. So I can auto attack here thanks to Scooby-Doo ult, and then now I can battery up Jingliu so that she can go inside of the cycle. She didn't have to because she ends up finishing it. But let's say I needed a little bit more damage. I would have got it in within that cycle. Thanks to that duo. 400k, GG's. And so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is this final build with my Jingliu. With my Ruan Mei. I was actually running Planetary Rendezvous on her with the Planetary Rendezvous 2-piece set that gives a 5% energy recharge and then another 10% damage bonus. So I essentially gave Jingliu, here you go, an additional 33% extra damage bonus on this particular build. Again, showing you that there is so much nuance to building Ruan Mei on a case-by-case basis, depending on what you're doing with her. But I guarantee you have people running around telling you like, no, don't run that. You have to run this. You have to run that. It's a case-by-case basis, man. It really is. But what I will say is you always want to run her with defense HP on body and sphere. But depending on that scenario, Sprightly Von Whack, the 2-piece break effect set, hell, Planetary Rendezvous if you're using her with ice DPS like Yang Xing, Herta, or Jingliu. She's got a number of ways to run her, and it's okay to open up with double skill proc if you need to get that ult up. Don't feel like, yeah, it's a little unorthodox, but it works. Depending on the scenario, you got the team with the skill points to handle that, you can do that. Like I said, I think a lot of this was insightful to you guys who wanted to hear my thoughts on Ruan Mei. Those are it. Let me know down below what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.